We're a gutsy team. We make gutsy calls. We don't care. We're 12 wins. We're the Detroit Lions. We're doing fantastic. Life's good over here in Detroit.
It's time now for the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills to take over the National Football League.
Hello, everybody. I'm not sure if you can make it out with the foggy weather behind me, but I am outside of Ford Field where the Lions just came up short to the Buffalo Bills with a final score of 48-42. Now, I'm Dustin Fiocco with FanGo Media. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me at DustinFiocco-Sports. And if you always want my commentary, my reports, or just my brutally honest opinions on all your favorite Detroit teams, you can always get those on Michigan's most listened to radio station, 97.1 The Tickets. Now, today's game had so much anticipation behind it, many people saying it's a preview of this year's Super Bowl. While the Lions do come up short, and let's get your reactions to the game.
Great game. No defense. Personally, I just think they gave Josh Allen the MVP for the NFL because they know he's going to lose at the Super Bowl to the Lions. This was somewhat of a, here you go, buddy. MVP, but you know what? Super Bowl, Lions.
Jared Goff, he's a two-faced phony. Sometimes he looks good, sometimes he looks like absolute dog cheeks.
All right, so not much faith in the quarterback moving forward?
You know what? I don't have faith in that defense. No Aiden Hutchinson, no pass rush. Josh Allen made them their freaking beat.
I think, both defenses could have done better, but it was a tight match, and we hope to see Detroit again in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl preview. Let's do it, right? Let's do it. All the fans were great. Everyone in Detroit is awesome. We love it all.
Well, I thought it was a really great game regardless of the outcome. I think the Lions just didn't put in enough effort defensively. The Bills, they got the MVP on their team, so.
No, they played well. Bills are a great team. It happens. Still 11-2, 12-2. They're still top NFC. Eagles, Lions, maybe Lions, Rams. That's the way it goes.
Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills are they're the two oldest NFL franchises. And unfortunately, they've also had the least amount of success over the course of the entire history of the National Football League. It's time now for the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills to take over the National Football League.
Man, oh man, we're a gutsy team. We make gutsy calls. Look at us up against one of the best in the NFL, making gutsy calls. Dan Campbell and the Lions, you got to trust him. Jared Goff, we're going to go all the way. We're going to see Josh Allen. We're going to see the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. We don't care. We're 12 wins. We're the Detroit Lions. We're doing fantastic. Life's good over here in Detroit.
Game of the season? 48-42. Onside kick was a questionable choice, but besides that, you get your money's worth with that game. That was the best game of the NFC.
Defensive injuries come back. That's good.
The Lions get their defensive players back for the playoffs. Yeah. Different game for the Super Bowl. Defense obviously not good. Who had the best game for the Lions today?
You know what? Honestly, I think Montgomery. He was catching the ball. Usually it's Gibbs, but Montgomery was showing those hands today. If he can catch the ball and run the way he does, between him and Gibbs, I don't think anybody's going to stop us.
Dan Campbell's always great, right? Dan Campbell's always great, but I don't know. The Bills they got done.
Josh Allen, always seems good.
A little closer. And it did end up being pretty close at the end, but it was all good.
I think it was, honestly, other than the fumble, I think it was the tight end Sam Laporta. He really came through when they needed.
After the loss today, you didn't really seem like you thought so, but any fears moving forward in the postseason, or are the Lions still Super Bowl bound?
Super Bowl bound. Our defense just needs to get healthy and get a few more guys back, and hopefully we make a few stops. Today, it just seemed like whoever had the ball was going to win the game.
Probably not going to make the Super Bowl, but they're going to make a deep run. They are going to win a Super Bowl. It might not be this year, but they're going to win a Super Bowl.
You just got to finish out the year. You got to finish out the year strong. They're not going to get the one seed, I don't think. You still got the Saquon Barkley on the Eagles carrying them to victory. You've got the Vikings on the Eels. You just got to win the rest of the division games. I think the Bears next week will be the ceiling where you go. You got to tear them up.
They got to still keep the pedal to the metal to get there now.
just with the injuries.
The Lions are going to walk away with the division. They're going to walk away with the conference. It's who comes out of the AFC that's going to compete with them, right? Because the Bills are looking good. The Chiefs are probably the falsest leading team in the AFC in years. Because, I mean, how many lucky games can you get? They're going to get walked over in the playoffs. But it's going to come down to who can play the Lions out of the NFC. I think Lions-Bills Super Bowl match, and you get some healthy players back on defense, it's going to be a lot less scoring game than
Dan Campbell with the onside kick. What were your thoughts on that choice?
We're going to ride or die with Dan Campbell. He makes them. We're going to go with whatever he does.
I don't like it. He's got big cojones, but you know there's a time and place, and you know what? You had all the momentum in the world, didn't need to go for it, and all momentum, and your defense was playing pretty. At that point, I get it. You don't want to trust your defense, but you got to put some faith in your defense. Guess what? You went for it. It bit you in the butt.
There's no reason to go for an onside kick.
Oh, yeah. No, that was
quarter down by 14 points.
It was only down by 10 at that point.
What are you doing, man?
That's what's even worse.
Come on.
That's what even worse. They went for it on 10.
You got to give your team a chance.
I think his aggressiveness when it's on the fourth down is where it matters the most.
I agree.
You can't go for an onside kick at 12 minutes left.
You know, Dan Campbell went for that. He went for that, you know, and that's what it takes to be a ballsy, gutsy coach. But I will trust Mr. Dan Campbell until the day I die. That is what Detroit's all about. That is what the 313 is all about. And we will be the victors of the Super Bowl this season. If it's the Buffalo Bills, I don't care. Kansas City Chiefs, I don't care. We'll see you there in the Super Bowl.
That's Dan Campbell. Like, sometimes you got to roll the dice.
And it didn't pan out.
Yeah, I mean,
No one's upset about it. It just happens.
So again, following their defeat, Lions fans still pretty optimistic with the future of this team. They remain 12-2 on the year, still plenty well positioned to win the NFC North, and they are certainly playoff bound. Now, once again, I'm Dustin Fiocco with Fango Media. If you're outside of Ford Field after any Lions home game, I know we're running thin on Lions home games. We do have a postseason still to come with home games here in Detroit. But make sure you look for me. I'll always be outside the stadium to get your reactions after each and every game. We at Fango want to give you the opportunity to say your thoughts, your opinions, and give your feedback when it comes to all your favorite teams. Once again, with Fango Media, I'm Dustin Fiocco. Outside of Ford Field, where the Lions just come up short to the Buffalo Bills, your final score, 48-42.